In this video, I'm going to be showcasing the top 3 How to Train Your Dragon mods to add in Minecraft. Whether you want to make your own mod pack, add these to your own server, or just have a nice How to Train Your Dragon single player experience, these mods are the best to choose. So at number 3, we have Hiccup's Legacy, and this mod is available on versions 1.18.2, 1.19.2, and 1.20.1, and it's only on Forge. What's great about this mod is that it's probably the most developed mod of How to Train Your Dragon mods so far, but it might not be as polished, I would say, as the other 2 mods that I have on this list, which is why it's at number 3. For example, we have the Speed Singer. It looks pretty cool. Grim Gnasher, so some pretty obscure dragons. Hobgobbler, Smoke Breath, Night Terror, so lots of dragons from the show too, which is nice. It's these type of dragons you can't really find them in like the other mods. The animations can be a little bit stiff, but it's still better than like nothing, if that makes sense. Like this, the wings are just straight up on the fireworm, but it's really nice to have so many variety of dragons, if that makes sense. You have the classics ones like Deadly Natter. This model looks pretty good. Again, the walking is a little bit stiff, but it kind of reminds you of maybe like more Minecrafty compared to like modded. But yeah, the Snow Wraith, which is a really cool dragon. I really like the Snow Wraith. Nightlight, which makes sense. Light Fury, Night Fury, which are probably some of the people's favorites from this mod. Razor Whip, which I think is really, really cool. And again, these dragons are their own mods, because in some, like there's a mod that might have like an add-on, and it adds some of these dragons to it, but they're not fully like their own dragon. It's almost like a skin. And you have Skrill, which is really cool. We have the final one. We have an eel, which makes, you know, dragons run away from it, and it also gives you eel pox. So that's really cool. I think that's what's really good about this mod, is there's a lot of extra stuff besides just the mobs. You have a yak, which you get yak milk from. We'll do that one later. You have the Whispering Death, which is a really cool mod, or a really cool mob. The Speed Singer and the yak are fighting. Oh! Stand on business, yak. Okay. Oh, Whispering Death is huge. Death Song. The sound effects are really, really, really cool. I think he does attack other dragons though, so. Then we have the Song Wing, which is an interesting dragon. I'm not sure if that's from. I think that's more of a Rise of Berk dragon. And you have the Thunder Drum, which is awesome. Obviously, there's still some more dragons to be added, but this mod is in constant development, which is nice. And then, obviously, we have the Red Death. So, I'm going to go far away from our little setup, just so he doesn't bother us. The fact that the Red Death is in this is really cool. He's like a boss. He has a ton of health. And you can basically fly around on Toothless and shoot at him like hits in the movie. So, yeah, it's really, really cool. So yeah, there's other things. So like right here, we'll add all these to it. So you have like the Dragon Eye, which is really, really cool, and a bunch of new swords and weapons from Gronkle Iron. So you have a regular sword, a mace. All of these have different attacks, which is really cool. There we go. And now you have the Inferno Blade, and you have limited use on that, so, but you have a bunch of canisters you can do. Basically, you have to have it holstered, and then you want to fill it with certain things. You put this in your offhand and fill it up. So now I have full gas, and so So that's really cool. You basically crouch. Next we have Heather's axe. So the double-handed one has a bit better attack speed, because I assume it's because there's 2 axes to use. And there's this axe, which is really cool. So you have all different kinds of scales of armor, and it's pretty basic right now, but I mean, it looks really cool. It's like Hiccup's armor. Looks like all of these are bugged out. So I don't know. Those are probably a work in progress, but this mod is in development, and that's why I think this mod is actually really good. And also, like, it's in the main version. So 1.18.2 is a big version for How to Train Your Dragon mods, and 1.20.1 is also another version of mods. So this mod can go, you can pair it with the 2 mods that I have in front of this one, which is really, really cool. So yeah, that's why even though this mod might not have like as much prestige, or sometimes the animations are not, I would say they're not as good as the other 2. It has a lot of content still, and I think it's really good still to pair it with other mods, and it's pretty far. It's still in development, which is nice. Number 2 is Book of Dragons, and this mod is only in version 1.20.1. Now this mod, I think, has huge potential. It is still very early on in development, but it's super high quality. So you have all the spawn eggs here. Just the Night Fury, Deadly Natter, Monstrous Nightmare, Gronkle, Hideous Zippleback, Skrill, and Whispering Death. So a lot fewer dragons than the previous mod, but this is basically how early on in development it is. There you have these dragons and these items. And there's not even spawn eggs, so I'll have to summon these in just a second. You have a Viking Anvil, which does nothing yet. Well, the egg exploded, like in the Christmas short. Okay, I'll just move away from that just for a little bit. Then you have a Dragon Whistle, which basically means you're able to bind a tamed dragon to this, and this is how you control your dragons that you have. Use the Deadly Natter. There's a lot of color variants, but the animations are just so high quality. I really like the animations. Here's the Gronkle, which is really cool. How they fly is really awesome. It looks so high quality. You have the Hideous Zippleback. Look at this little guy. You have the Monstrous Nightmare, who also looks really huge and awesome. Like, look at those animations. It just looks so good. And it still looks Minecrafty, while also being very realistic too. It just, what an amazing mod. I think that Whispering Death is dying, or this guy's attacking. Then you have the Night Fury, who again just looks so good. Then you have the Skrill. This is a really cool color pattern. He looks sick. I think the Skrill and the Whispering Death are the ones that are just added, so there's a reason why their animations are not as good, but still, the animations are insane. You have the Whispering Death in full, and look at those teeth. They look so freaking awesome. And you actually have a yak from Book of Dragons as well, so that's really cool. I will now show some footage of flying the dragons, which is really cool. This mod could be the best if given enough time, because it is really good. But number 1 is Isle of Berk. It is on version 1.18.2, and even though this mod is discontinued, it is still the best mod, mainly because of the add-ons you can add to it. It's in basically any Minecraft How to Train Your Dragon mod pack. It is super high quality. This is the best one. So you have the Night Fury. So again, very high quality models. I still think Book of Dragons probably has the best animations and models, but this mod is further along. And even though it's discontinued, the add-ons are really, really good. And it makes it more of a complete mod. So if I were to make a How to Train Your Dragon world or join a server or something, I would make sure that this mod is in it, because it is the most definitive How to Train Your Dragon mod. Next you have the Light Fury, which is really, really cool. You have the Night Light. Triple Strike. So that's a really cool dragon to have, because Hiccup's Legacy does not have this. You have the Deadly Natter. So again, all these mobs are really, really high quality. Ronkel. These look a little bit more like Minecraft than the Book of Dragons ones, but so that could be something you either like or prefer something else. Then you have the Monstrous Nightmare, which is really, really cool. And you have Silverback. You have the Terrible Terror. You have the Skrill, which I really like. Skrill. Stinger, which is kind of a unique dragon that they added. It can't fly. And you have the Speed Stinger. Lead Speed Stinger, which spawns a bunch of Speed Stingers with them. And what's cool is, which is so weird, but I actually spawned next to a Lead Speed Stinger cave, and this is where you find them. And how you tame them is by getting the eggs from here, because you can't tame them while they're under this leader. Yeah, I literally spawned right here, so if this was just a survival world, yeah, I'm dead. So that's funny. It's both unlucky and really lucky that I did. But yeah, those are really, really good dragons. Next, we have some items that are in this mod as well. You have the Dragon Whistle, which basically means you can command your tamed dragons. Transport Cage means you can, if you tame them, and then cage them. It's basically like having a Pokeball. This is really useful because you want to be able to keep your dragon safe on like a server. If there's like, if people are allowed to like kill your dragons or something, like you want to keep them safe, so you want to have them in your ender chest or like on your person, you know. So then you have your standard pickaxe, axe, double axe, sword, and dagger. And you have a few more. You have a mace, a hammer, and then you have reinforce. So basically there's a new ore called Belzium, and you just basically add it to your Ronkel iron weapons and you get these. So, and this is one of the add-ons. There's plenty of others that add like basically almost every dragon in the game, but it's not necessarily adding dragons because it still uses the same abilities as the standard dragons that we have here, but it's still really cool. But one of these is adding the fire sword, armor, and all these different things. So if you have Hiccup's Legacy, this add-on might not, you might not need it because there's already an armor like this, but it does look pretty cool, right? That's just to show maybe the add-ons that you can add, but this mod is really good. There's one last thing I'll give like an honorable mention, is New Berk's Dawn. So basically New Berk's Dawn is a mod that has developers of the Isle of Berk mod, and they're basically making their own mod that is extremely similar to this one. It's basically a continuation, but it's its own thing, separate thing. So you don't have to worry about this mod if you really, really like the Isle of Berk mod to never get any updates again, because New Berk's Dawn will come out soon. And I think it could be the best mod so far that will be added, and it seems like it would be very, very, very cool. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy the video, and I hope you enjoy the mods, because all three of these I think are really, really cool. Thank you guys for watching.